Okay, so welcome to Corporate Bhagavad Gita. We'll continue from where we had left. There are prayers on my screen. You can chant with me. Om Agyan Timirandasya Jnana Jana Shalakaya Chakshunanmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuktapadakamala Shri Gurun Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathamitam Tam Sajeevam साद्वैतम सावधूतम परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवम श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So again welcome. We were reading from the 11th chapter and we completed till verse number 51. So 52 is what we need to start. Okay, so in this chapter, Arjuna is seeing the Virat form, the Virat Rupa. Yeah, so he's seeing this Virat Rupa. He gets afraid. He says, "What is your purpose?" The Virat Rupa says, "Time I am, I will destroy everything." And then he shows that Karna, Jayadatta, everybody is dying. And then he says, "Arjuna, only you, Pandavas will stay, but everyone else will die. Therefore, you fight as an instrument in my heart, Nimitta Matra." Then Arjuna becomes afraid. He says, I thought, Krishna, you are my friend and I would sleep on the same bed with you. I would joke with you. I would laugh with you. But you are the Supreme Lord. You are the owner of this whole world. So I'm very sorry. Please forgive me for this familiarity, just like a husband forgives his wife. And he gives too many examples. And then he says, "Come back to your four-handed form of Vishnu." So he came to four-handed form of Vishnu, and then he came to two-handed form of Krishna. And this two-handed form of Krishna is even more beautiful than four-handed form of Vishnu. So after doing this, he asks a question to Arjuna. Asks a question. He says, "Seeing Krishna in your original form, that is two-handed form, human-like form, I am now composed in my mind and I am restored to my original nature. I have become calm now." Now Krishna starts speaking. Hopefully we'll be able to complete. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Sudurdarsham idam rupam dishtvan asiyan mama deva api asya rupasya nityam darshana kanshina 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 aspiring to see. Okay. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, this form of mine that you are seeing is very difficult to behold." So which is the form that he's saying? Even the demigods are ever seeking the opportunity to see this form, which is so dear. In the 48th verse of this chapter, 48th verse of this chapter concluded that revealing his universal form and informed Arjuna that this form is not possible by so many pious activities, sacrifices, etc. So 48th verse he says, you cannot see this form by studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, by dana, by punya activities, by tapasya. You cannot see this. By tyaga, by sannyasa, you cannot see this. Universal form. Okay. Now here he says the word Sudurdarsham is indicating that Krishna's two-handed form is still more confidential. See, it is confidential. Confidential means what? Any thoughts? Confidential.
It is secret.
Secret. Yes.
between.
So, see, Krishna 5,000 years ago, everyone saw him. But then this 200 form is still more confidential. It is a secret, it's an open secret. Just like Bhagavad Gita itself is an open secret, Krishna is also open secret. Hmm. We will read this whole paragraph and then I will show you another verse. One who may be able to see the universal form of Krishna by adding a little tinge of devotional service to various activities like penances, Vedic structure, Vedic study, philosophy, spiritualization. Okay, so if one develops bhakti, then he can see this universal form, the Virat Rupa. But it may not be possible. Sorry, it may be possible, but without a tinge of bhakti, one cannot see. That has already been explained. Still, beyond that universal form, the form of Krishna with two-handed is still more difficult to see. Two-handed form is still more difficult to see. This one. Oh, is it difficult to see or what it is? It's an open secret, okay? It's an open secret. So difficult to see means Krishna will be in front, but we won't recognize him. That is the understanding of difficult to see. It is not like one cannot see. It is that one cannot recognize Krishna. Hmm? You understand? It is not like 5,000 years ago nobody was able to see Krishna. No. Krishna was seen, but he cannot be recognized. And we are going to discuss about it. Even for demigods like Devatas like Brahma and Shiva. Okay. The desire to see him, we have evidence in Srimad Bhagavatam that when he was supposed to be in the womb of Mother Devaki, all the Devatas from the heaven came to see the marvel of Krishna. And they offered nice prayers to the Lord. Although he was not at that time visible to them. They waited to see him. A foolish person may deride him, thinking him to be an ordinary person, and may offer obeisances not to him but to impersonal something within him. But these are all nonsensical postures. Krishna in his two-handed form is actually desired to be seen by devatas like Brahma and Shiva. We'll get into detail of it, but let me just finish this purport. In 9.11, Krishna says, Avajananti mam mudam manusham tam ashritaha. People who think that I have taken Manushya body, therefore I am another person. That is Mudha. Mudha means foolish persons. They think I am a Manushya because I look like a Manushya. Hmm. That is, they don't know. They are actually foolish. He is not visible to the foolish persons who deride him. Krishna's body as confirmed by Brahma Samhita and confirmed by Krishna himself in Bhagavad Gita is completely spiritual, full of bliss and eternity. It's a very important point. Krishna's body is already spiritual. It is nothing material in it. Our body is full of material. Our body is made of earth, water, fire, air, ether. It has to be destroyed. But Krishna's inside, outside is same. His body is never like a material body. But for some who makes a study of Krishna by reading Bhagavad Gita or similar Vedic scriptures, Krishna is a problem. We are also reading Bhagavad Gita. So is Krishna a problem for us?
No, Prabhuji. There is solution for everything.
Yeah, but then why it is a problem for some others who are reading Bhagavad Gita?
Because they cannot understand properly.
Then how to understand properly? How is it that we are able to understand and other people are not able to understand?
By by following Shastra, Guru
Shastra
Shastra.
is there, open, it's there. Everyone is printing. Gita Press is printing.
Mhm.
Bhakti, bro. Reading Bhagavad Gita with Bhakti
Bhakti.
or
Did
trust.
when we took birth, did bhakti come to us? It was there already in our body, our mind, and in our attitude. Yes or no? Was it there or not?
Yeah.
Was it there? Were we devotees right from our birth?
We don't know, Prabhuji. I mean,
We don't know. Yeah.
there should be
So then,
some
how
written
did we
book of
get bhakti?
bhakti is, yeah, maybe by some association or some grace, by grace of.
Yeah, it is by association of a guru. So when we are studying here Bhagavad Gita, we are associating with All this disciplic succession started by Krishna. He gave first knowledge to Brahma, then to Narada, Vyasa, Madhvacharya of Udupi. And then in his lineage came Lakshmipati, who had a disciple named Madhavendra Puri in Vrindavan. And in his lineage came Ishvara Puri and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Rupa Goswami, 6 Goswamis. And like this knowledge is passed down to Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And below also it will be passed down. Because we are learning from a bona fide parampara. Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Therefore, this bhakti is coming to us. Bhakti is in our heart. That is there. But it is covered. How it is opened up? When a guru comes in our life. A guru or a devotee who is connected to a proper sampradaya. When they come and they give us knowledge, the bhakti within our heart opens up. So, somebody is reading Shastra, but he is not connected to any bhakta, neither is connected to any guru in a proper disciplic succession. So, for them, Krishna is a problem. Now you understand how Krishna is a problem?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu.
Yeah, because they are not connected to a bona fide sampradaya. For one using a material process, Krishna is considered to be a great historical personality. See, many scholars of religion, they end up saying Krishna is just a historical person, very learned philosopher, ordinary or extraordinary, powerful, cunning person, like that. But he is an ordinary man, and even though he is so powerful, he has to accept material body. Ultimately, they think the absolute truth is impersonal. They think that absolute truth is like a energy; it cannot take form. And Vedas also say nirvikar, nirakar. When Vedas nirgun, when it says like this, then they conclude, okay, the absolute truth, uh, uh, the Paramatma, or let's say the Brahman, Sarva Khalva Vedam Brahman, that is impersonal. Impersonal means it's like a sky, it's like energy, it's like a cloud, it cannot take any shape or form. So maybe that is the end of it. So they think like that it is an impersonal feature. And this impersonal feature takes a personal form of Krishna or Rama or Narsimha. Like that is their understanding. But this is a materialistic calculation of supreme law. Another calculation is speculative. Those who are in search of knowledge also speculate on Krishna, consider him to be less important than the universal form of the Supreme. So then there are some who say that, the Virat Rupa is the real Brahman, is the real Paramatma, is the real thing. This Krishna is not real. But where did Virat Rupa come from? It came from Krishna. So Krishna is more superior than the Virat Rupa. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, but still they miss that point. So those who are in search of knowledge also speculate on Krishna and consider him to be less important than the universal form of the Supreme. Thus, some think that the universal form of Krishna, which was manifested to Arjuna, is more important than his personal form. There are many people who think this chapter 11 is important chapter, most important chapter. They think like that. Why? Because the Virat Rupa was shown. It is an important chapter, and Virat Rupa is also important. But from whom it came is more important. From whom it came is more important. According to them, the personal form of Supreme is something imaginary. They believe that in the ultimate issue, the absolute truth is not a person, but the transcendental process is described in Bhagavad Gita chapter 4 to hear about Krishna from authorities. That is spiritual master coming in a bona fide sampradaya. There are 4 Vaishnav sampradayas. In India, there are 4 Vaishnav sampradayas. I especially use this word Vaishnav because there is Shankaracharya sampradaya also. But it is not Vaishnav. It is a Vedic sampradaya. This is a Vaishnav sampradaya. Vaishnav sampradaya is actually following Dvaita philosophy with much deeper understanding. Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva. Okay. But 4 sampradayas I said, right? So first one, so all these 4 sampradayas were started by Krishna. And he gave knowledge to a lot of people, lot of devotees he gave knowledge. But today, only 4 sampradayas are staying. Sampradayas, they get destroyed over a period of time. So right now there are only 4. One is Sri Vaishnava. You must have heard about them. Ramanuchari Sampradaya, right? With a red tilak in between. So the first knowledge was given to Lakshmi. Then she gave it to her disciple Hassan, like that. So these are Sri Vaishnavas from Tirupati, Sri Rangam, Kanchipuram. These are Sri Vaishnavas. Then is Rudra Sampradaya. Rudra is whom? Shiva. So he has his Sampradaya. Third is Kumara Sampradaya. These are 4 Kumaras. They remained like babies, young, very young children. They didn't grow only. But these are these 4 Kumaras. These are 4 Kumaras. They remained like that. So Krishna gave knowledge to these 4 Kumaras. Then the 4 Kumaras gave to their disciples, and then their disciplic succession is there. And the 4th one is the one that we are reading, Brahma. So here knowledge was given to Brahma. This is the one that we are reading, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, which comes in Madhvacharya Sampradaya. Sri Vaishnava is Ramanuchari. Rudra and Kamara, they have their own acharyas, Vishnu Swami, but I'm right now not remembering. And Brahma is Madhvacharya. So anyone connected to these 4 will give a proper Vaishnava understanding. Who is Krishna? Getting? Any question on this? Okay. So this is the actual Vedic process. You have to approach a guru to learn from. Okay. And
so Prabhuji, just one thing. So this Sampradaya, Vaishnav Sampradaya, like we had the four Vaishnav Sampradaya. Apart from Vaishnav Sampradaya, like how many more could be there?
Or
we are not
Krishna gave
concerned?
knowledge to a lot of devotees. See, right now he is giving knowledge to whom? Arjuna. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. So he has given knowledge to a lot of devotees. But not every devotee has, given it further. Only some devotees have given it further, out of which today in Kali Yuga, we have these 4 sampradayas still existing.
Okay.
Like that I'm saying. So there may be many other sampradayas, but today they are not existing. This is for today's count. Okay, not for, because there are many. He gave knowledge to Garuda, he gave knowledge to Prahlad, he gave knowledge to Sudarshan. So they have sampradayas, and they may not be on this earth. They may be on the outer planets. Okay, they may be on the outer planets. Agreed. He gave knowledge to Hanuman. So these are not present on the earth. On the earth, right now these 4 sampradayas are there. Outer earth, there are many other sampradayas, Vaishnava sampradayas. We do Surya Narayan, there is Narsimha, there is Vamana, there is Varaha. So where are all the devotees of these? They existed before, but right now they are not there. Right?
Okay.
Right now, Ranganath Swami, Venkatesha Balaji, Krishna, 200 form of Krishna, Sham Sundar, 400 form of Satya Narayan. These sampradayas are there. As we have several times discussed, Krishna is covered by his Yoga Maya potency. So Krishna is covered by Yoga Maya potency. You will see, meaning, he keeps himself hidden, even though he may be front of us. He is not to be seen or revealed by everyone and anyone. only by one who he reveals himself can be seen. This is come from Vedic literature. One who is a surrendered soul. The absolute truth can actually be understood. The transcendentalist, by continuous Krishna consciousness and by devotion service to Krishna, can have his spiritual eyes opened and can see Krishna by revelation. Such a revelation is not possible even for the demigods, devatas. Therefore, it is difficult for the devatas to understand Krishna. See, even in front of devatas, Krishna will be covered with his yoga maya, so they may not detect him. We will see examples. And the advanced devatas are always in hope of seeing Krishna in his 200 form. The conclusion is that although to see the universal form of Krishna is very, very difficult and not possible for anyone and everyone, it is still more difficult to understand his personal form as Sham Sundar. So Virat Rupa is still difficult, and difficult than that is Sham Sundar. How and now we will discuss. So in the Bhagavatam, in the first canto, Kunti Maharani prays. Kunti Maharani is mother of Pandavas, Arjuna, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So what is she saying? She is saying, Krishna, you are beyond the range of limited sense perception. Now Krishna is already in front. Everyone can see Krishna. But what is she saying? Oh, our eyes have defect. What is it? You are eternally irreproachable factor covered by the curtain of deluding energy, yoga maya. You are invisible to the foolish observer. Foolish people cannot see you. What does she mean? Krishna was there in front in the war. Still is invisible? No, he is visible, just like an actor dressed as a player is not recognized. See, everyone can see an actor. There are a lot of pictures. Let's take this. This is very interesting. Is she visible? Yes, she is visible. But is she visible as the person that we know who is behind this whole makeup? Huh? Can you figure out who is behind this whole makeup?
They are same? Oh.
Yeah, they are same.
Oh,
They are the
okay,
same
okay,
actors.
difficult.
So this is how one is invisible. If they do so much of makeup, then they become invisible, right?
Yes, yes.
Remember, if somebody is doing acting on the drama, can you recognize? You will ask, where is that person? He said he's this, he's that, right? Same way she says, Krishna, you are invisible in that sense. Now, second question is how the devatas cannot recognize. So in Bhagavatam, there is a Brahma Vimohan Leela. This is a very, very interesting pastime. What happened is, Brahma came to know Vishnu has arrived on the Earth planet. So he came to see. And then he saw that Aghasura, the big snake, was killed. You know, the snake demon was killed. And then he looked around who killed. Then he saw these boys playing. Then he saw, how can he be killed by the boys? How can he be killed by the boys? So what he did was, he took Krishna out from this group and made all his friends. He kidnapped them and put them in a cave.
Cave.
Yeah. And then Krishna understood. Then what he did? He himself expanded as his friends. And for 1 year he was playing with himself only. After 1 year, when Brahma came and saw that all of them are still playing, then he went into the cave and saw what has happened to them. Then he saw all are sleeping there also. All are sleeping here and they are playing over there. Who is true? So he got vimohit. He got confused. कौन सही? ये सही या वो सही? So there is a village near Vrindavan which is called Sei. There is a cave over there. That's where Brahma kept all the friends of Krishna sleeping. Now, for Brahma to know Krishna, how did always Brahma saw Krishna? He always saw Krishna in four-handed form, isn't it? When Brahma sees Krishna, he sees Vishnu basically. He sees Narayan. How is Narayan and Vishnu? How many hands they are having?
Four.
Four.
Forehand.
So Krishna knows, Are Baba, he only knows my four-handed form.
Uh,
So to make him understand, all the forms became four-handed Vishnu. And then Brahma understood. He is the same Vishnu that I am talking about. So even Devatas cannot detect Krishna. What to speak of common people? Then Brahma came and cried in front of Krishna. I'm sorry. And there's a one big full chapter in Bhagavatam where he says all prayers to Krishna. So even the Devatas find it difficult. Any question? Okay. Naham veder na tapasya na danetsa na chejya sakhya evam vido drishtum tishtvan asi mam yatha. The form you're seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these that one can see me as I am. The word that Krishna used, Sakhya. Okay. Shakya. It is actually Shakya. So again, Krishna is saying the same thing what he said for the Virat Rupa. For Virat Rupa also you cannot understand. And this also you cannot understand by studying the Vedas. Studying the Vedas and by charity, dana, worship, you cannot understand. Then how can you understand? The very next verse he explains. How can you understand? Krishna first appeared before his parents Devaki and Vasudeva in four-handed form. You know, if somebody's baby has a four-hand, it becomes problematic, right? Or father, mother are just crying, what? He has four hands. But in front of Devaki and Vasudeva, he came with four hands. And then they told him, you become a baby. So then he became a baby. And then he transformed into two-handed form. The mystery is very difficult to understand. Okay, this is of course difficult to understand. Atheists won't accept this thing. They say, what is this fairy tales you're telling? Okay, but we follow the acharyas, who are even greater than the scientists, who are even greater than the modern philosophers, scholars, and all that. We follow the sadhus, who are not um, who are not polluted in their mind. Okay, they are truthful, they are humble, they are respectful, they are tolerant. Such people we follow, and therefore we accept the Vedas as it is. The mystery is very difficult for atheists to understand, who are devoid of devotional service. For scholars who have simply studied Vedic literature by way of grammatical knowledge or mere academic qualification, Krishna is not possible to understand. Nor is he to be understood by persons who officially go to temple to offer worship. See, sometimes people go to temple, but for them Krishna is Krishna, Shiva is Shiva, everything is same. They also don't understand. They make their visit, but they cannot understand Krishna as he is. Krishna can be understood only through path of bhakti, as he says in the next verse. Bhaktya tava ananya sakhya. Sakhya ne shakya. Shakya. You have heard this word? You have heard this word shakya?
possible. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
It is a commonly used word, shakya.
Shakya. Yeah.
In Marathi they say, hey shakya aayega. Shakya means, is it possible?
Possible.
In Tamil or Kannada, they may use a similar word only. Is it possible?
Yeah.
And they may use a similar. So only it is possible by bhakti. Aham evam vido Arjuna jantum drishtum sa tattvena pravishtum sa parantapa. My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way you can enter into the mysteries of my understanding. Only by bhakti can be understood. Arjuna can be understood, but the thing is, na bhakti is there in our heart, but only by a touch of a bhakta or spiritual master can this bhakti come in, be revived in our heart. Okay. So Krishna can be understood only by the process of undivided devotional service. He explicitly explains in this verse, so that unauthorized commentators who try to understand Bhagavad Gita by speculative process will know that they are simply wasting their time. No one can understand Krishna or how he came from parents in 400 form, at once changed himself to 200 form. This is just some special effects, someone may say, but it is not like that. These things are very difficult to understand. Study or study of the Vedas by philosophical speculation. No, you cannot. Therefore, it is clearly stated here that no one can see or enter into the understanding of these matters. Those who, however, are very experienced students of Vedic literature can learn about him from the Vedic literature in so many ways. There are so many rules, regulations. If at all one wants to understand Krishna, he must follow the regulative principles described in the authoritative literature. One has to perform penances in accordance with those principles. For example, to undergo serious penances, one has to observe fasting on Janmashtami, the day of Krishna appeared, and on 2 days of Ekadashi every month that comes. As far as charity is concerned, it is plain that charity should be given to devotees of Krishna who are engaged in devotional service. So charity is to be given to Bhakta of Krishna or Brahmana. Why? Because they will use it for proper purpose. If you give charity, let's say you give 10 rupees, 20 rupees to some beggar, are you fully satisfied with that? There is always doubt in the mind what he will use with that money, right? Isn't it?
Yes, Prabhu.
Will he go into some liquor shop, right? Or will he buy
Probably.
some egg or something? So therefore, charity is to be given to Brahmana, because you know what is going to happen. If you give it to a Brahmana, if you give it to a Vaishnava, you know they are going to use it for right purposes. So then, should we not give charity to poor people? Does it mean that then? Yes.
Uh, the devotee is more important than poor
Yes, then it
or
is important. But then, if we see some poor person, should we give dana or not to that?
this is debatable.
No, it is not debatable. It is what we give is important. If we give money, then we are doubtful. But if we give food,
They will not take sometimes.
some may take, na. If we
Yeah.
give clothes,
Then it's good.
then
Yeah,
some will
they will
take,
take. That is
right?
good.
So we change the form of our charity. We change the form of our donation, our dana, isn't it?
Yeah.
So then we are not worried. So yeah, so we have to give charity to the poor people also. But if we are in doubt, then you change it. Instead of giving money, you do it something else. Or you give it to some charitable organizations. They will make sure that these poor people are taken care. Getting?
Right. Yeah.
Because they will handle them. Now you give them money, they will handle these people. Somebody is not accepting, they may shout at them, or they may coerce him, or they may convince him. If we cannot do, they'll do it. Okay. So we have to give charity to everyone, but to a devotee, prime most. Krishna consciousness throughout the world. Why? Because the devotee spreads Krishna consciousness throughout the world. Krishna consciousness is a benediction to humanity. Sri Chaitanya was appreciated by Rupa Goswami as the most munificent man of charity, because love of Krishna, which is very difficult to achieve, was distributed freely by him. So if some amount of his money to a person involved in distributing Krishna consciousness, so if one gives such amount to a person who is distributing Krishna consciousness in the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami, then that is the greatest charity. And one worships in a temple the temple in India, there is always some statue. Actually, it should be said deity, usually of Vishnu or Krishna. There is a chance to progress by offering worship and respect to Supreme Personality of Godhead. For the beginner in devotion service, temple worship is essential. So those who are beginning, for them, temple worship is essential. And those who have reached the highest, temple worship continues. It doesn't stop. It becomes even more emphatic. It becomes even more esoteric. What that means is, for the beginners, they have to offer to Krishna's deity, flower, tulsi, like that. And for a pure devotee, when he offers, Krishna speaks with him. So that's why, in Kanchipuram, the Varadraj story is there. Varadraj used to speak with a devotee named Kanchipuram, on whom the whole city is named. Kanchipuram. So, for a Shuddha Bhakta, pure devotee, temple worship becomes more personal. And for neophyte, it is a starting point for him. So, it is not to be neglected, whether you are starting or whether you are very advanced. For both, temple worship is there. One who has unflinching devotion to the Supreme Lord and is directed by the Supreme Spiritual Master, in whom he has similar unflinching faith, can see the Supreme Personal Godhead by revelation. One cannot understand Krishna by mental speculation. One who does not take personal training under the bona fide guidance of spiritual master, it is impossible to even begin to understand Krishna. The word tu is very specifically used here to indicate that no other process can be used, or can be recommended, or can be successful in understanding Krishna. The personal form, this is a very long purport. The personal form of Krishna, the two-handed form of Krishna and four-handed form of Krishna are described as Sudarshanam. Sudurdarshanam. Very difficult to see. Our national TV channel is named what? Doordarshan.
Doordarshan.
But this is Sudurdarshanam.
Doordarshan.
It's very difficult to say. They are completely different from temporal municipal forms shown to Arjuna. The four-handed form of Narayana and two-handed form of Krishna are eternal and transcendental. Okay, the four-handed form of Krishna, two-handed form of Krishna is eternal, transcendental. But the universal form is temporary. It is ever-changing. It is actually a material form. The word Tvat Ananyena Drishtva Purvakam, 47 verse, Arjuna, no one had seen the universal form. So they suggest that amongst the devotees there is no necessity of showing it. Virat Rupa, like I said, it is beautiful, horrible at the same time. Devotees are not interested in it. Last time we discussed. You cannot even have a relationship with him. Right? He is killing, he is giving birth and all that. No, we have nothing to do with it. That form was exhibited by Krishna at the request of Arjuna. So that in the future, when one represents himself as an incarnation of God, people can ask him to show his universal form. If somebody says, I am God, you should tell him, where is your universal form? Before that, you have to give me Divya eyes to see. And then you have to show me a four-handed form also. Okay? And then you should not be old also. You should be young. Krishna was 93 years old when he spoke Bhagavad Gita. Okay? But he looked like a 16-year-old boy. Because that is his eternal age. 16-year-old. So those who say they are God, and if they have white dadi, if they have white beard, it's better to just turn around and go away. Right? Than to get fooled by such people.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Yeah. But we see common people, especially villagers, and maybe sometimes in cities also we see Kalki God has come, we are going to him. This Babaji has come, we are going to him. Right?
Yeah.
So it's all scam only. We have a lot of online scam and phone call scam. This is a different scam. This is scam of being God. Even outside of India, we see such things. Some person says, I am Jesus Christ. Some says, I am this and that. So many stupid things are going on. The word na used repeatedly in the verse, in the previous verse, indicates that one should not be very proud of such credentials as academic education in Vedic literature. One must take to devotional service of Krishna. Only then can one attempt to write commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. So many people have written commentaries. Only the devotees, when they write, that is perfect. Otherwise, the other commentaries, they simply confuse. Like there was one politician in the 1920s in India from Maharashtra. He was present in Andaman Nicobar for more than 10 years. So he was studying books, and one of the books that he studied was Bhagavad Gita. So he wrote a commentary on it. He was very expert in Sanskrit. Hmm? So he wrote a commentary, and his commentary conclusion was that Arjuna fought the war. So therefore, we should also fight for our own nation, political reasons. Till now, we have read so much of Bhagavad Gita. Where is the political reason explained in Bhagavad Gita? Can anyone tell
Mm.
me?
No, nowhere.
No, it is dharma. One should fight for dharma. That is mentioned, not political reasons. Neither it is mentioned for our own country. But then he concluded that way. Then there was another person who was a nutritionist. So when we read the 14th and the 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about food. So he concluded the whole purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to eat nice food in mode of goodness. No, these are conclusion of people. Krishna talks about some breathing exercise, pranayam, in 6th chapter. So the whole commentary is on pranayam only. Did Arjuna stop and did pranayam when he was fighting? No, right?
No.
So then how can you conclude that that was the ultimate thing? So therefore only the devotees can tell what is Krishna trying to say. Otherwise there will be wrong conclusions.
Yeah. Prabhuji, who was the politician?
Lokmanya Tilak.
Mantra. Yeah.
Okay. Krishna changes from universal form to four-handed form of Narayan and then to his own natural form two-handed. This indicates that four-handed form and other forms are all emanation of the original two-handed form. So where all these forms come? Virat Rupa, four-handed form, everything is coming from Krishna. Last time we saw the picture, no? Right
Yeah.
now, let me finish this. This is a long purport. He is the origin of all emanations. Krishna is distinct even from these forms. What to speak of impersonal conception? As far as four-handed form of Krishna are concerned, it is stated clearly here that even the most identical four-handed form of Krishna, which is known as Mahavishnu, lying on the cosmic ocean, Viraj river, or sometimes called ocean, and from whose breathing so many innumerable universes are passing out and entering, are also expansion of Supreme Lord. It is stated this in Brahma Samhita. In Brahma Samhita it is said. This is the verse. The Mahavishnu into whom all the innumerable universes enter and form, whom they came forth, simply by breathing process, the planetary expansion of Krishna. Therefore, I worship Govinda, is the cause of all causes. Therefore, one should conclusively worship the personal form of Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead, which has eternal bliss, knowledge, and he's the source of all forms of Vishnu. He's the source of all forms of incarnation. He's the original supreme personality of Godhead, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. In Vedic literature, Gopala Tapani Upanishad, again the same thing is said. Satchidananda Rupaya Krishnaya Akslite Karine Namo Vedanta Vedaya Guruve Buddhi Sakshini. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Krishna, who has transcendental form of bliss, eternity, and knowledge. I offer my respect to him because he understands, because understanding him means understanding the Vedas, and he is therefore the supreme spiritual master. And Krishna says, I am the Vedas. From the whole Vedas, I am to be understood. Where 15.15, when we reach
15.
15th chapter, right? That time he is going to say, Sarvasya chaham hriday sannavishto matah smritir jnanam apohanam cha Vedesh sarver ahameva vedyo vedant krit veda vidavacha. Vedesh sarver. Sarver means all the Vedas. Aham. I have to be understood. Vedanta krit veda vidavacha. I have compiled this Vedanta. So in Bhagavad Gita only Krishna is saying. Other scriptures also. The other sadhus, they confirm this. Then it is said, Krishna vai paramam daivatam. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Eko vashi sarvagaha Krishna idaya. That one Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead and he is worshipable. Ekopi bahudayo abhavati avabhati. Krishna is one, but he manifested in innumerable forms and expanded incarnations. Brahma Samhita says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. Krishna has a body of eternity, knowledge, bliss. He has no beginning because he is the beginning of everything. He is the cause of all causes. Elsewhere it is said, the supreme absolute truth is a person. His name is Krishna. He sometimes descends on this earth. Similarly, Bhagavatam says, it describes various incarnations of Krishna. Varaha, Narsimha, you know. And then it is said that Krishna is not an incarnation of God, but is the original person of God. Ete cham sakala pumsa Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam. Okay, we'll see the picture. But let me finish this. It's a very long purport. Similarly, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Mat tarannamanyat. There is nothing superior to my form. I hold everything. In Bhagavad Gita says, Aham adir hi devana. I am origin of all the devatas. And after understanding Bhagavad Gita from Krishna, Arjuna also confirms Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhava. So many times Param is used. You know, where have we used the word Param in our technology?
Ultimate. I mean,
Yeah, Param is ultimate, of course.
yeah.
You know, which department of government have used this word Param?
For a military, our force.
Yeah,
Paramveer
force is
Chakra.
one thing, but then there is one more department. Department
Param,
of
computers,
telecom.
our
Yeah, Param supercomputer.
Param, yes, yes.
Why? Because it is a supercomputer, na? So they used Param supercomputer. Super also means Param. So it is supercomputer. So like that, you know, Arjuna is using many times the word Param. And he's saying Dhama, Brahma, Paramam, Pavitram, so many times. He's just confirming it multiple times. I now fully understand that you are the supreme personality, the absolute truth, and the refuge of everything. Therefore, the universal form which Krishna showed to Arjuna is not the original form of Krishna. The original form is Krishna's two-handed form. The universal form, which has thousands and thousands of heads and hands, is manifest just to draw attention of those who have no love of God. See, for some people, God is someone who takes judgment. He will tell whether you did good, wrong, and then he will punish you, right? For some people, that is the understanding of God. They have no understanding that, you know, you can have God in two-handed form, and that is his original form. They have no such understanding. So for them, this Virat Rupa is there. So whoever gets attracted to Virat Rupa, right, they want to see the magnanimous nature of God. Now here the magnanimous doesn't mean the personal form, but it means that he who controls everything, death is under him, fire is under him, earth is under him, water is under him. He's controlling everything, and then they feel happy. For them, the Virat Rupa is there. But it is not God's original form. The universal form is not attractive to pure devotees. We discussed this. Because you cannot love it, you cannot hate it, you can just be sitting there and watch it. You know, it's because it's beautiful, horrible, same time. It doesn't ask you to do anything. Neither you can do for it anything. So for bhakta, right, it is this form is not so interesting. The Supreme Godhead exchanged transcendental love with his original form of Krishna. Therefore, to Arjuna, who was so intimately related with Krishna in friendship, this form, the universal manifestation, was not pleasing. Rather, it was fearful. See, he himself became afraid, right? Such a great devotee became afraid. Arjuna, who was constant companion of Krishna, must have had transcendental eyes. He was not ordinary man. Therefore, he was not captivated by this universal form. This form may seem wonderful to persons who are involved in elevating themselves by fruitive activities, but to persons who are engaged in bhakti, the two-handed form of Krishna is more dear. Okay. So quickly we will see. We have seen this picture again and again. But this is Mahavishnu's. This is Mahavishnu. Here, in the Karana Viraja river. But his expansion of two-handed form of Krishna from the Golok Vrindavan, who has expanded into, so who has expanded into Balaram, who expands into four Chatur uh, expansions. Aniruddha, Vasudev, Sankarshana, Pradyumna. From Sankarshana, Narayan comes. Narayan again expand into four. From Mahasankarshan comes Mahavishnu. From Mahavishnu comes Garbhodaksha Vishnu and Shirodaksha Vishnu, like that. But Krishna, the two-handed form, is the source of all these Vishnus and all these Narayans and all the avatars. Okay. This is the last. Yeah, this is the last. Yeah, this is the last. मत कर्म कृन मत परमो मत भक्त संग वर्जितः निर्वैरः सर्वभूतेषु यस माम इति पांडवा. This is a very important verse. Mat karma krin, whatever you do, mat paramo, mad bhakta, sangha vivarjitah, vivarjit nahi, varjitah, you put that everything to me, do all that work for me in devotion service, free from sangha, that is fruitive mentality, impersonalist mentality. Nirvairah sarvabhuteshu samam iti pandava. Iha samam iti pandava. Okay, my dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotion service free from contaminations of fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me makes me the supreme goal of life, and he who is friendly to all living beings is certainly coming to me. So this is a very, very important verse. You can see it's a direct instruction. Do bhakti, free from fruitive and mental speculation. Work for Krishna, make Krishna the supreme goal of our life, be friendly to all living beings. Not that, oh, I only want to do bhakti, I don't care for everyone. No, we are friendly to all living beings. Such all these things, when satisfied, we will definitely go back to Krishna. Got it? Any question on this?
This is very, very important.
Yeah.
Very long purport also. I think
Very long purport, yes. So we will extend a little bit, so that I can finish this chapter. Some 5-10 minutes we'll extend.
Okay, Prabhu.
Anyone who wants to approach the supreme of all the personality of Godhead on Krishna planet in the spiritual sky can be intimately connected with supreme personality Krishna must take to this formula. Now this is a formula. This plus this plus this, da, 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 da. And as stated by the Supreme himself. Therefore, this verse is considered to be the essence of Bhagavad Gita. What does essence means?
This essence means the summary, the conclusion, I don't know. Essence.
Essence, what is it? Essence oil.
Commonly used, so difficult to.
What do this essence oil mean?
Essence.
Meaning, there is eucalyptus, there is this flower, there's cloves, there's lavender. They have pulled the essence from it. So whatever makes lavender the lavender, whatever makes clove the clove, they have extracted from it. Right?
Yeah.
So the whole Bhagavad Gita essence is this particular verse.
Yeah.
Where Krishna says, work for me, do devotional service, free from mental speculation and karma, kanda, fruitive work, you will come to me. The Bhagavad Gita is a book directed to conditioned souls like us who are engaged in material world working in different companies with purpose of lording over the nature and who do not know real spiritual life. Bhagavad Gita is meant to show how we can understand his spiritual existence, Krishna's spiritual existence. Sorry, our own spiritual existence and our relationship, eternal relationship with supreme spiritual personality of Krishna, and to teach how we can go back to Godhead. Now here is the verse which clearly explains the process. We can attain that through devotional service. That is bhakti. As far as work is concerned, one should transfer his energy entirely to Krishna conscious activities. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. No one should work by work. No work should be done by anyone except in relationship to Krishna. This is called Krishna karma. So we should be doing Krishna karma. One may be engaged in various activities, but one should not be attached to the result of his work. So don't be attached to the result of his work. Do it as a duty. It should be and offer the results to Krishna. For example, one may be engaged in business, but to transform that activity in Krishna consciousness, one has to do business for Krishna. If Krishna is the proprietor of the business, then Krishna should enjoy the profit of that business. So if a person is in possession of thousands and thousands of dollars or rupees, if he has to, then he has to offer all of this to Krishna. He can do it. This is working for Krishna. Instead of constructing big building for sense gratification, he can construct nice temple for Krishna. He can clean all the holy places of Krishna. So many holy places are dirty. He can use that money, clean it. And he can distribute prasadam. He can distribute Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge, so much Bhagavad, Mahabharata, Ramayana, so many things he can do. He can open schools, gurukuls, where Vedic knowledge is taught. He can install deities of Krishna and arrange for deity service outlined in the authorized books of devotional service. This is all Krishna karma. One should not be attached to the result of his work, but the result should be offered to Krishna, and one should accept the prasadam. So whatever we do, every day, 3 times we eat, all that should be offered to Krishna. Now for eating, there is vegetarian food without onion garlic. Okay, that is next rule for it. If one constructs a very high building for Krishna and installs the deity of Krishna, then one is not prohibited from living there, but he understood that the proprietor of the building is Krishna. See, previously the tallest building in the village, in the town, was whose? Which was the tallest building?
Temple.
Right?
Yeah.
You go anywhere, Sri Rangam and all that, Gopuram is so high. How big is the deity? The deity is only one big room, that's it. But why the Gopuram is so high?
Because he is the biggest. He is the most important.
So if you see ISRO's rocket, they also have high building, but the ISRO's rocket is also very tall, right? So why to have these big buildings for small DT? To show that who is the proprietor, isn't it?
Yeah.
If a rich person, he is given the most best suit, the best place to stay. Why? To show that he is the most important. Same case with the Prime Minister. Such a small Prime Minister, but 100 people around him. Isn't it?
Yeah.
To show that the Prime Minister position is so important. So who is the proprietor of the building of temple? Krishna. That is called Krishna consciousness. However, one is not able to construct a temple for Krishna. He can engage himself in cleansing the temple. I was telling about cleansing the holy places. That is also Krishna karma. One can cultivate a garden. Who cultivated garden for Balaji? There was a Acharya named Ananta Acharya, I think. He was given instruction by Ramanujacharya, his spiritual master, Guru, who told you should go cultivate a garden in Tirumala and offer everything, all those beautiful flowers to Balaji. So that's how the tradition of beautiful flowers offering to Balaji is continued for more than 1000 years. Anyone who has land, has certain amount of land, can utilize for Krishna by growing flowers to offer him. One can sow Tulsi plant. Tulsi leaves are very important for Krishna. Technically, we can offer Krishna any leaf. Any leaf, kadipatta also. But tulsi, when he becomes more happy. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. Yome bhakta prayachati. Offer him leaf, flower, water, little water. The water is also fine with him. Anyone can do water, right? Even poor person can give water. By offering this with love, he is satisfied. This leaf is especially refers to tulsi. So one can grow tulsi, offer tulsi, do parikrama of tulsi. All this Krishna is very satisfied with that. That is Krishna karma. Poorest person can engage in this service. The word mat paramaha refers to one who considers association of Krishna in his supreme abode to be highest perfection of life. Such a person, mat karma means we all want to go back home, back to God, to Vaikuntha planets. That's it. We don't want to go to some after death to some heavenly planet. No, we are not interested. We bhaktas always want to go to Vaikuntha planets or wherever Krishna is. That is called as mat paramaha. Such a person does not wish to be elevated to higher planets such as moon, sun, heavenly planets, and higher planets of the universe. There are 14 planet system. We are not interested. Only Vaikuntha is enough for us. He has no attraction for that. He is only attracted to being transferred to the spiritual sky. Even in the spiritual sky, he is not satisfied with the merging in the Brahma Jyoti. We are not even satisfied with Brahma Jyoti. Bhakta is satisfied only with Vaikuntha, where he is able to serve Krishna. For he wants to enter the highest spiritual planet named Krishna Lok Golok Vrindavan. He has full knowledge of that planet and therefore he is not interested in any other. As stated by the word Magd Bhakta, he fully engages in devotional service, especially with the 9 processes of devotional service. So what is devotional service? It is these 9 processes. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada, Sevanam, Archanam, Dasyam, Vandanam, like that. Hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, serving the lotus feet, Atmanivedanam, offering prayers, carrying out order of the Lord, making friend with the Lord, Sakhyam, Dasyam, and surrendering everything, Atmanivedanam, like Bali Maharaj. One can engage in any or all 9 devotional processes, at least one, and then one can get perfection. The word Sangha Varjitaha is very significant. Sangha Varjita means we are thinking of doing bhakti with some material motivations. That is not appreciated by the Lord. Do it unattached to fruitive works. I will do bhakti because Krishna, you give me this. Krishna, you give me that. That is okay to one point. It's like a baby, it's like small children. But Krishna says, grow up. You should not be loving your parents only because your parents are satisfying all your desires. Right? That is how children love their parents. If one of the parent doesn't give, I don't love you, mommy. I love only papa. So that is not appreciated in bhakti. Okay, one has to come out of this fruitive mentality and mental speculation. In this verse, Rupa Goswami clearly says that if anyone wants to execute unalloyed devotional service, he must be freed from all kinds of material contaminations. He must be freed from association of persons who are addicted to fruitive activities and mental speculation. When freed from such unwanted association and from contamination of material desires, one favorably cultivates. Give me 2 more minutes. I'm not done. I have to finish. One favorably cultivates knowledge of Krishna, that is pure devotional service. Ankalyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjana. One should think of Krishna, act for Krishna favorably, not unfavorably. Kamsa also thought about Krishna, but unfavorably. How? Because he was planning to kill him in many, many ways. That is not favorable thinking of Krishna. Thus, while working, one is eating, while sleeping, he should always be Krishna conscious in all every respect. Arjuna, while sleeping also, he used to say Krishna, 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 Krishna. That was his, while sleeping also. So these are all pure devotees. We may not get to there, but when we are not sleeping, that time we should chant. Okay? We should not worry, okay, sleeping I am chanting or not. No. While awake and while chanting, we should chant the holy name with attention. While eating, we should eat with Krishna's name and eat only Krishna Prasad. But that Krishna consciousness was not favorable. Kamsa's Krishna consciousness was not favorable. In spite of his always thinking 24 hours a day, he also thought 24 hours a day. Narada was very inspired. Wow, he's thinking 24 hours a day. But not favorably. He wanted to kill Krishna. So he got killed Krishna and then he got salvation. He got Brahma Jyoti merging. So Krishna killing is also great thing. Krishna killing is also mukti. But that is not the aim of bhakta. Aim of bhakta is not that he fights with his Ishvara, with his Ishtadev. He doesn't fight with it, right? That is not the aim of a bhakta. He doesn't want salvation. He doesn't want to be transferred even to highest planet Golok Vrindavan. His only objective is to serve Krishna wherever it's possible. Okay. Two more paragraphs and then I'll stop for questions. A devotee of Krishna is friendly to everyone. Now the last point, the friendly to everyone. Therefore it is said here that he has no enemy. Nirvairaha. How is it that? He is situated in Krishna consciousness, knows only bhakti to Krishna can relieve a person from all problems of life. Therefore he gives bhakti. He has personal experience of this and he introduces and distributes this knowledge of bhakti to everyone. That way he becomes friendly. A doctor becomes friendly. Why? Because he distributes his medicines and treatment. And Prabhupada gave the example of Jesus Christ. Of course, this is not Vedic example, but he would give bhakti to all those in Jerusalem, right? So that example Prabhupada put here. He wrote this book in West, okay? So for the West people to understand, he took this example. We are reading a book which was printed in United States of America. Then it came to India and translated. So sometimes Prabhupada may use examples for their connection. For our connection, we have Haridas Thakur, Prahlad Maharaj. They risked and they gave Krishna consciousness. And Prahlad Maharaj was tried to be poisoned by his father, killed by his father, but nothing happened to him. Haridas Thakur, he was born in a Muslim family. So the Muslims, they beat him. 22 marketplaces they beat him to stop him to chant Hare Krishna. But he didn't listen. Ultimately, he came back. A Krishna conscious person knows that if a person is suffering, that suffering is of two levels. One is spiritual suffering, one is material suffering. Material suffering, you can give some food, clothing, shelter, and the person will be happy. But spiritual suffering, that will still continue. That will only stop when you give Krishna, when you give the Paramatma. And Paramatma is Krishna. Therefore, the highest benefit one can render to human society is relieving one's neighbor from all material problems. Such is the way of pure devotee. So, pure devotee, therefore, he engages in devotional service and he engages others also in Krishna's service. And therefore, going back to Godhead is easy. Such people can attain. In summary, the universal form of Krishna, which is temporary manifestation, and form of time, which devours everything, even the form of Vishnu, 400 form, have all been exhibited by Krishna. Krishna only showed 400 form of Vishnu, Virat Rupa. Thus, Krishna is the origin of all this manifestation. Very clear. It is not Krishna is the manifestation of the original Vishwarupa. No. From Krishna came all this Virat Rupa. Therefore, he is the origin. There are hundreds and thousands of Vishnu, but for a devotee, no form of Krishna is important but the original 200 form. Now, this particular statement, right? Devotee is interested only 200 form of Vishnu. That is Sham Sundar. Okay. But someone may be attracted to Narsimha, someone may be attracted to Vamana, someone may be attracted to Satyanarayana, to Vishnu, to Narayana. That may be there. So this particular statement is a very specific statement for those who are attracted to Krishna in his Goloka Vrindavan pastimes, with the pastimes with the gopis. Okay, for those these statements are. But his other manifestation of Narayana and all that is bona fide. 400 form, 800 form, everything is bona fide. And there are devotees in Satyuga, Treta Yuga, and Dwapar Yuga who get attracted to that forms. But for presently, in Gaudiya Vaishnava, everyone is getting attracted to 200 form of Krishna. Why? Because Krishna just came now 5,000 years ago. In the Brahma Samhita, in the Brahma Samhita, in the Brahma Samhita,
Papa, no. Now leave your Mickey now. Leave your Mickey now.
the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that who are attached to Shyam Sundar form of Krishna in love and devotion can see him always within the heart and cannot see anything else. One should understand, therefore, that the purport of this 11th chapter is that the form of Krishna is essential and supreme. With that, we end the 11th chapter. Any questions or comments? Any questions or comments?
No, Prabhu.
Okay. So no questions?
No, Prabhu.
Okay.